welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Tracker Hoffmeyer, and joining me is Nathan Berserker LaHaye.
Yeah.
I gave you the Berserker, and I took Tracker.
My love for you. No, I won't do that joke.
I mean, Tracker gets a good death. Tracker,
yeah.
You know, Nikolai Oleg Taktarov, former MMA fighter who fought in the UFC, who could probably beat up a Predator if they just fought. Because he would just, I don't know, like...
They didn't have all the fancy weapons.
Yeah, and so... But, I mean, he goes... It's a good death. It's a good one in here. Like, I'm glad...
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Like, I'm kind of happy...
He prepped beforehand.
What's up?
So he prepped beforehand. He knew just in case things went down, he wasn't gonna be the only one. He had that Claymore strapped to him. He had what? Did he have like C4 and other stuff? Because that was a huge explosion. Like, that was a bigger explosion than just what a Claymore should have gone off. Like, there had to have been some fancy, extra powerful explosives in there.
He had a couple grenades kicking around.
He probably had a little bit of everything. Yeah. What else? He had grenades. He got Claymores. He's got C4. He's got probably a couple paint cans in there.
Yeah.
What else?
A couple dirty bombs.
Aerosols. Yeah.
He has nails in his
aerosols.
Pockets. He has pennies. He has a 50 pennies wrapped up.
Rating Lawrence Fishburne's little thing there, yeah.
A bunch of marbles.
I don't know what I'll do with these ball bearings, but I don't know, just put them in this pocket.
That would be that's a terrible thing to think about. But imagine someone wearing cargo shorts, right? And one of those Columbia fishing shirts,
yeah,
with all the pockets, and then a vest, and in those pockets is just all this stuff, and then it just blows up. It blows up Predator Hank, and then they learn from it. You see how Hank went down? Marble.
Yeah. So do you think in the next season that the Predators are just gonna have like fishing vests, and they're gonna be loaded up with just like it wouldn't be nails and things. It'd probably be like bone fragments from like different victims, teeth, probably rocks. They'll find a lot of rocks.
All of that. Or they're just like, if someone waits in a field with them ready to sword fight, they're just gonna Indiana Jones them.
There you go. Well, would they have had to seen Indiana Jones?
I mean, listen. This is my theory.
Or would they come in with a couple less fingers because of that guy?
There's Neanderthal skulls on this planet. There are aliens. Yeah. If these things have mastered universal travel, they can go anywhere in the world. These like ultra predators, super predators, they have scouts, Nathan, that sit around every galaxy of the planet like baseball scouts and just monitor villains. Yeah. Because if you think about it, these people we had people from Africa, South America, America. You had people from all over the world, Russia, Europe. They have scouts out there. Like they're sitting there eating sunflower seeds, sending messages home, and then they're like, yeah, draft them. So then they beam them up, they put them in a cage, they travel them across the universe, maybe keep them in a stasis, wrap them up with a parachute, and drop them on this planet. If they can do that, they can watch Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point of the scouts. Like, they're going to all these places. They don't inherently speak all these languages, right? They do little recordings of like over here and laughter and shit like that. But like, how much do they understand that? And if they're on Earth scouting, doing these things, are they just sitting up in their ship? Hacking into CCTV feeds, or are they like down using all this equipment, just like sneaking up behind people? Like if you're at home and you notice the door closes on its own, was that a predator?
Yeah.
Like, was he looking to see if you made the cut?
They're scouting you.
And if they're down here amongst us, like going around, like how do they figure out who the badasses are? Like they can't read a newspaper, they can't like watch TV and see who's on death row. Do they just like literally go to each person and be like, no? And how many are there? Like, is there just one scout that's aimlessly just like going around Earth? Like, does he have a gut? Does he wear like a suit and one of those like silly John Lovitz hats from League of Their Own?
Oh my gosh.
Does he have the John Lovitz mustache? You never know these things. So and is he just the worst predator? Is that like the underling predator that's the scout? It's like the lowest level that you can get. You failed out of predator school. You couldn't even make it to your first season, and now you're just there scouting people. Like, no, go out and look at all these people. Don't kill them. You're a predator, but no, you can't kill anything.
Yeah,
You just gotta watch.
There's scouting them all over the place. Hey, does that look like a predator to you? No, that guy looks like John Lovitz from that movie, from the movie where Tom Hanks is peeing a lot. But it's yeah, like, and then do the scouts? Okay, you're a scout for the Yautja. You're a Yautja scout. You're not a classic Yautja scout. You are a super predator scout, and you have a blood war with the other group. This is what this movie's about. The predators have a blood war. So you're part of the super predators. You are sent to Earth. So you don't want to get, you don't want to get any like geeks off the street, if we're going to quote Young Guns or Regulators.
It's going to be handy with a steel.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know what I mean.
Got to earn your keep. And you can't, you don't want them, right? But then you don't want to get the ultimate. Like, you don't want to get American Sniper. I don't know the guy's name, so I'm just saying that. You don't want John Wick.
Yeah.
So they're like, listen.
Why wouldn't you? You would, though. That would be like the ultimate like challenge.
But here's the thing. I'm a super predator. It's like, man, I got to go to the island to hunt. Like, I hope to get John Wick took out 3 of them last week. Yeah. And what did we learn? We can't kill John Wick.
We leave John alone. We leave John alone.
What if I get a John Wick? Like, just get me like
I quit. I can't quit. Go home. I have to face my predator parents, my super predator parents. They'll kick me out of the basement. I'll have to be on my own, trying to find a affordable living in these times. Oh God.
Yeah, there's no infrastructure in our country. It's either be a scout for the hunt, drive a vehicle back and forth, be an interdimensional trunk driver. Like what?
Yeah.
I need to read the comics, but what's the Yautja's infrastructure? They exist to hunt, so they must have drivers. So someone must build the ships. Someone must build the weapons.
You got engineers.
Someone must do the tech.
Yeah.
So do they have a barter system? Are there condos on this world?
The condos are just shit based. They don't have do they have a home world? I don't know. Like, are they like centrally based, or are they just going around? They are?
If you watch Alien versus Predator Requiem, I don't know if that's still canon, but one of them, it happens.
Commit to it, Mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Commit to it.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Okay, so one of them is like, wow, there is a new threat. So he pops in his wolf, I believe, pops in its ship and flies to Earth to battle the Pred alien, or the Alepred, or the Eliter, or the Predian. One of those.
The Predianator.
So you see it, like they're chilling in chairs, so people are making the chairs. So I guess there's infrastructure on this planet, but it's like it's an interesting culture.
Do you think that the artisan predators just hate themselves and life in general? Because I mean, you're called the predator.
Yeah.
And if you're just sitting there like making, wicker, baskets and armchairs, like, do you just hate life? But you it's like the ultimate shame to kill yourself, unless you're loading a small jungle along with it.
Man, that's a great question. I think
Robert Rodriguez is on the line to answer that. Robert.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, this script was kicking around since '94, which kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, I saw that when he was making Desperado. It just popped into his head. You know what the world needs? Another Predator.
And you know what's funny? I guess he had made El Mariachi. He was getting ready to do Desperado, and they're like, hey, do you want to write a Predator script on the commentary? And he's like, yeah. So he just wrote one. And listen, it's a sound idea. Get them back in the jungle. Yeah. I like Predator 2, though. Danny Glover, Gary Busey, Bill Paxton. I like the idea of it. And on the podcast, it's a really popular episode. But I love AVP. I think AVP. I don't care what you think out there, Predator fans. It's a PG-13 movie, but you watched it again, Nathan. It's good.
I did recently. Yeah, I remember seeing it. I think I saw it in the theater. And I remember coming out of it, like I'm sure a lot of people did. I was like, what the heck did I just watch? Like, what is this nonsense? And then, I watched it again recently, and I had a better appreciation for it. It just taking it for what it was. There's no, anyone going into something that has verses in the title, you're going to have your alien group and then your predator group. And then if it doesn't go how the way you think it should go, you're automatically going to get upset. But it was good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So now Latham becomes a predator. That's awesome. Like,
Yeah, she gets a little alien shield. She gets a little alien spear. Some nice teamwork there. Yeah, honorary Predator with her nice little facial scar now.
and speaking of that, Lawrence Fishburne, Paul Anderson directed that. Paul W.S. Anderson directed AVP, and then he directed Fishburne in Event Horizon, which I also love, and now Fishburne's in this movie.
Horizon.
And in the commentary,
Yeah.
he shot for 2 days. And the only reason he did that is because he loved working with Nimród Antal, the director, on Armored and that. But I want to talk to you real quick. This is like 64% on Rotten Tomatoes. It made about $140 million worldwide on a $40 million budget. $40 million in 2010 is not much. That's a small budget right there. So I think they did do a good job stretching it. They shot in Austin, Texas, your neck of the woods, and Hawaii.
Yeah, I saw Hawaii, but like 60% in Texas or something like that.
Yeah,
so
they shot some. They shot quick exteriors. Yeah, bonkers. But okay, here's the thing. And you could tell Hawaii and then Austin, which I love. But it's an alien planet, so it doesn't matter what's on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's foreign. It has all kinds of different seasons and foliage. Just go with it.
A pine tree wouldn't be there. It's another planet. How do you know? But I think
they uproot people from all over the place from different planets. You think they can't get a pine tree to just give some different feng shui?
Due to that temperate zone, there would not be a pine tree. But that's how they would sound. But okay, with this one though, this movie they were talking about this on the commentary. They went into this movie filming without a final script. All the actors didn't have much time to prep. Adrien Brody packed on 25 pounds fast. Prepping for this. They had to go to look for Hawaii, and when they were shooting, they didn't even have finalized Predator outfits yet. Like K&B, Nicotero, Berger, all those guys, famous production team, they had to rush to get the Predators made. This movie, it was sitting in stasis, like the people being transferred from Boston to the alien planet. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they just went, all right, film it. And then Robert Rodriguez was like, oh crap. So he hired Nimród Antal to direct, and then they just went right into it. And for me, I hate comparing everything to Predators, right? Predator, because there's like an interesting synthesis in that movie that really works. But I want to see what you think about this. My biggest problem with Predators is I love all the actors involved, but I do think Adrien Brody, who I love in The Pianist, he's great in Darjeeling Limited, I think he's a really good actor. But in this one, he seems to be playing a tough guy. If that makes
it's just a little out of place. It's kind of, it's in comparison. I always make this joke where he's trying to, I gotta sound this way, and I gotta, I'm gonna leave you. I'm better on my own. And it's like, I gotta use my lower register. I compare it to Zac Efron and Greatest Showman, because when he first showed up the first time, and he was like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, hello, I'm Zac Efron. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I have to use my low register now. And I always make the joke with my wife whenever we watch it, and she's like, shut up. You're ruining it. Just watch the movie. But yeah, it seemed just kind of out of place. Everyone kind of fit, like you said, fit the role, fit what they were going for. And then, I mean, I think Adrien Brody did a good job. But yeah, it just was a little, I don't know, maybe wouldn't have been my first choice.
Take, for instance, Alice Braga in this as Isabel.
She is great.
Effortlessly badass, right? Mm-hmm. But this is the thing, though. I can't totally blame Brody because the director was on set, Rodriguez was on set. You can play a tough guy without having I go on my own and I use people as bait. You can be tough without that. And it sucks too, because Brody worked his butt off to gain 25 pounds of muscle. Yeah. He looks the part. And I like that Nimród said, I don't want to have a gigantic muscular cast. He's like, Special Forces guys would not look like the crew in Predator. And I was going to say Commando. He's like, these military guys, whenever you meet them, they're all wiry. And they could just, they're not lifting cement blocks out there. So I like the idea of it. And it's crazy, man. When I'm away from this movie, I grow very fond of it. But when I watch it again with I'm on my own,